It's Jalen Jacoby.
He is Jalen Rose eating better-made chips. Don't. I'm David Jacoby.
And on the cool check-in.
It's Friday. The
Yes,
show's
it is.
already off the rails. What do?
We get the people what they want.
Well, if the people wanted the Morris twins back on the NBA floor, that's what they got tonight. Both Markieff and Marcus Morris returned to NBA action from injuries. Not that big a deal. Why are we starting the show with that? Because the fact that they both returned this evening is proof that you are a witch. Let's listen to some sound from last week or the week before from this show.
Was at the Wizards-Lakers game last night. That's where this came to me. I'm like, don't ask me Bell Epiphany, but I got one. I would bet you that when they return, it's going to be at the same time.
How did you know?
There's levels to this.
You're a witch.
There are individuals that may get information from managers or accountants or coaches or unnamed sources. I'm the voice of reason for the players.
That's why you come to Jalen and Jacoby. You get the broken news first.
Now, I could have been at the bottom of the ticker, but I'm not. I'm Tom Brady with the phone.
Mark Stein did a feature for New York Times. Shouts to Stein.
Steinline.
And he did a feature for the Times about Giannis Antetokounmpo. And there was this very interesting quote, which I could talk to you about for hours. He said, this is from Giannis, "I'm a low-profile guy. I don't like all these flashy cities like LA or Miami. I don't know if I could be the same player if I played in those cities." What is Giannis getting at with that?
He has a terrific sense of self and maturity that I admire so much beyond basketball. I know he's playing with a heavy heart because he tragically lost his dad. He's playing terrific so far this year. He's, along with LeBron James, to me, are going to be the guys that we talk about legitimately MVP for this league this season. What he's referring to is, I'm focused on being the best basketball player I can be.
Not a lot of distractions in Milwaukee.
And the way you eliminate distractions is by focusing on your craft. And a lot of times, people do things that aren't really their character. They're just doing them because they're followers. And so, hey, everybody's out. They want to drink shots of tequila. You might not even want that, but you're doing it because everybody else is doing it. And a level of self-worth that he has, that he's like, that's too bright, it's too flashy, it's too much temptation. He's not trying to date a Kardashian or a Jenner. He's trying to be a great basketball player. He's not trying to be at Live till 5 in the morning on a banana boat the next morning with the same clothes on they had on last night. Like, he's focused on his craft, and I appreciate that.
Do you think that is a function of who he truly is and this is what he truly feels, or is that a function of because he lives in Milwaukee, he's not trying to go out?
Well, he's a max player, so he could have chosen to play anywhere when he was as talented as he is. He didn't have to opt back in. So when he decided that he wanted to play there and get $100 million, and by the way, that was a discount. Why don't we only talk about player salaries and if they're overrated, if they're overpaid in NBA and NFL? Like, this dude should be making a blank check. That's how good he is, and I appreciate his maturity. And I love on the court, even though he's not a three-point shooter, never settles. For anybody that plays basketball, you know what I mean. When you guarding somebody and you know that they're faster than you, they're more athletic than you, they can take you to the hole anytime they want, and they pull up for a jumper, you're like, thank you.
Here's the thing about Giannis is I'm the opposite of him. I can only live in flashy cities like Los Angeles, New York, and Miami. Like, those are the only places that are available to me.
Where'd you go to college?
In New York University.
Where do you live now?
Los Angeles. But we do have one thing in common. Look at this tweet. He's a simple guy. I just taste for the first time a smoothie. Man, God bless America. I love smoothies. You know that about me. I drink at least one smoothie a day. I love Giannis Antetokounmpo so much because we have that in common, but you will not find me living in Milwaukee. Shout out to Milwaukee, though.
Team futuristic.
So in Cleveland, just outside of Milwaukee, there's Dwayne Wade.
Both in the Midwest.
He plays in some flashy cities like Chicago, Miami. And now he's in Cleveland. and things aren't going well in Cleveland. And from this video that he uploaded to Uninterrupted, it seems like he's really going through it. Let's check in with Dwayne Wade before bed.
I'm here to help this team in whatever capacity I can, from a veteran standpoint, from a second unit standpoint. The 20 points a game ain't gonna happen. I came here to the Cavs to be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. So we're trying to figure it out as a team. I'm trying to figure it out as an individual, and it will get better.
Can I just say, as a television producer, that is terribly shot.
Never shoot up.
What are you doing? He's got the phone at his chin. Like, is he holding it with his chin? It's shooting right up at him. He's lying down.
I'm gonna tell you.
Face all fat.
I'm gonna tell you what it is.
He's going through it.
LeBron James, part owner of Uninterrupted.
Duh.
Dwayne Wade was responsible for delivering some content.
Mm-hmm.
Some producers blowing him up. Like, yo, we need that video to post.
You said you were going to do that.
We need that video
We signed a
to post.
contract. You said you were going to do one a week. It's been 3 weeks. You've done 0.
And he's like, all right, I'm about to do it right now.
So he's just lying in bed like that. I think that he, like, everything is calculated. You know what I mean? It's not, he didn't just say, oh, I really want to speak to the fans right now. He knows what it looks like when he does it in bed, when he's lying there. He knows it looks like he's just this tortured soul that can't sleep because the Cavs are losing. He knows what he's doing. He knows what it looks like. Like, none of this is spontaneous at all.
He's a part of a power couple, and he gets to play
Him
with
and LeBron? Him and LeBron?
And he gets to hoop with LeBron James. He ain't tripping.
Yeah, he's not. But you know what? So he was in bed getting his rest, but not everybody on the Cavs is getting some good rest. Let's check in with the head coach, Ty Lue.
How much time are you spending like away from the court, like thinking? Are you always constantly thinking like, how am I gonna put these lineups together?
Look at me. I ain't slept in days.
He looks pretty good to me. Like, check in on Jeff Van Gundy when he was with the Knicks. You know what I mean? Like Ty Lue, he's like, look at me. I'm so ragged. Like, it seems like he just came from the spa, coach. What do you think is really going on?
He understands what I mentioned. The issues that their squad has, they're not going to change much. They're going to be more talented than their opponents. They have LeBron James and Kevin Love, and they're a basic super team. But the obvious, when they play against the best teams in particular, you're going to miss Isaiah Thomas. I think people forgot how good he really is at basketball.
You haven't seen him play basketball for a while.
And so you lose Kyrie's 25, there's going to be a big adjustment
Isaiah's
as it
not
relates
helping
to
you on
getting
defense.
points on the board, though. So he's herky-jerky. He can shoot the 3. When he breaks down the defense, now all of a sudden it collapses, and it makes other people around him better.
And if you remember last year, I think one key to their sort of ultimate failure in the finals was not having Andrew Bogut, because they added Bogut. They added Deron Williams. And if you look at their roster and their salary structure now, like there's not going to be any of those guys coming this year. This is their team.
And the thing is, they're going to miss Tristan Thompson for this next month. His rebound, his rim protection, and starting Kevin Love at center with LeBron and Crowder, they're just too short when they go against some of the bigger, more versatile guys in the league.
Coming up next on Jalen Jacoby, Adidas just signed your guy, Zach LaVine,
Adidas!
to $35 million. I'm confused. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Happy Friday
back
to everybody. Here's the thing. On Thursday, some people on Instagram, it's a social media application. I know you're not on there.
Oh, got it.
People put up photos, TBT, Throwback Thursday. Tom Brady, also at TB, put up this photo on this Thursday of him dressed up like he's going to the prom or a wedding, and he's young, and he looks a little faded, right?
Look like he's wearing lipstick.
He also looks like he's wearing lipstick. It looks like he was enjoying himself. I don't know why that entertained me so much, but I really felt like we need to discuss it on the show.
That's a great picture.
Let's move on. Lonzo Ball. Familiar with him?
Yes, indeed.
Rookie on the Lakers, might have heard of him.
How much LeVar Ball slander will take place in my presence?
I slander LeVar Ball all the time in your presence, so I don't know why you keep saying that.
I just saw him have a $5 million house.
So let's move on.
He's winning in life.
Well, Lonzo Ball and the Lakers were not winning against the Portland Trail Blazers. Lonzo Ball had 0 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists in 28 minutes played. After 8 games, he's got about 9 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists a game. Not bad, but not great. What do you think of the Lonzo Ball that you are seeing now in the NBA?
I think Lonzo Ball has what it takes to become an NBA veteran and to play in the league a long time. But these sweeping comparisons to Jason Kidd and the Hall of Fame mogul Irvin Magic Johnson predicting his jersey going to be in the rafters, I don't see that.
Ooh. So we always say happiness is a function of realistic expectations. So what are some expectations that you would put on Lonzo?
My expectations are, at draft night, I do those comparisons. And a lot of times people get in their feelings about them because it's not necessarily a function of getting drafted. People want to say that the person's going to be an all-time great.
Yeah.
And I just don't do that. So I compare Lonzo Ball to Ricky Rubio. People's like, what? Because everybody else was comparing them to Jason Kidd, the vision of Magic Johnson. Haven't seen that in the college game in 20 to 25 years. Ricky Rubio, a really good basketball player. He's versatile offensively, meaning he now can make the three. He can make people around him better. Just made a game-winning shot,
Sounds like
scored
Lonzo
30
Ball.
the other night.
Let's take a look. I know it's a small sample size, but let's take a look at just thus far the production of both Rubio and Lonzo through 8 games.
Wow.
It doesn't look that far apart from each other. Lonzo is a better rebounder, as you can see, about one more game from Rubio, but that's pretty comparable.
One of the reasons why I compared them was their pace. And they're really good athletes, but they're not explosive. And if you watch both of them play, they're not going to be the kind of players that just finish at the hoop over the top of the defense.
No.
It's almost like they're playing in the park and then they're not really zoomed like you'll see from a John Wall or Russell Westbrook. And again, I think Lonzo is going to have a long career. I stand by what I said, that I just don't think he's going to be the player that he's being hyped to be. When I see Ben Simmons, guess what I say? He's going to be a great player.
When you see Lonzo Ball, you say
He's a franchise
he's
player.
going to be a good player. He's going to have a decade in the league. He's going to be like Ricky Rubio. Jalen Rose, I want you to take us behind the curtain. Zach LaVine is your guy.
Yes, indeed.
There's certain people in the league, they're just your guys. Avery Bradley is one, and Zach LaVine, Gordon Hayward. Like some guys, just I've watched a lot of basketball with you, and you just love. Zach LaVine is one of those guys. Adidas loves him a little bit more than you do, apparently. Adidas just gave Zach LaVine a 4-year, $35 million contract. Those are big numbers for a player that's not playing now and that is most known for performances in the dunk contest. Take us behind the curtain. How does this happen that Zach LaVine gets a $35 million sneaker deal?
It happens 2 ways. Number one, when the relationship is fostered. Usually elite level basketball players in high school, all of a sudden their schools end up getting a shoe sponsor. And that said player ends up going to a college that wears that same shoe.
Oh, that's good. It's coincidence, right? Just so happens it went that way?
And before you know it, when you leave college and you make it to the pros, you're still wearing that same shoe.
So, when he was at UCLA, what clothing company outfitted that team?
Probably based on what I just said, Adidas.
It was Adidas. They have just switched to Under Armour, but when Zach LaVine was there, it was Adidas. So you think that this relationship has been fostering over years, and this is a sort of like a make-good sort of a deal?
I think what ends up happening is, and I talked about this scenario with Cam Newton a long time ago. When he was in college, he was required to wear 16 visible Under Armour logos.
He didn't get paid for that, though.
He got paid when he went to the league.
So perhaps this is how it works.
And all of a sudden, you're Zach LaVine. You go from playing in Minnesota, averaging 20 points, winning the dunk contest, showing promise. Now he's playing in a large market in Chicago.
He's not playing yet.
He's going to do work. What did you start this by saying?
He's one of your guys.
He's going to do work. We talk about guys on this show before they become big stars. Like, we were screaming about Boogie forever and Greek Freak, and then some guys that fly under the radar like you just mentioned. D'Angelo Russell's one of my guys. This is what I meant to also say. D'Angelo Russell will have a better NBA career than Lonzo Ball.
Ooh, I like it. Next on Jalen Jacoby, It's my favorite segment of the week. Why is that?
You're a slacker, and it's the last one.
You're right.
We don't just dance, we boogie. That's today's theme right there.
Welcome back to Jalen Jacoby, Jalen Rose. It's Friday. It's the last segment of the show. It's time for What We Learned. We learned a lot this week.
I love that Godfather music.
One thing we learned, shout to the father, is that we now have definitive proof that UFOs exist. What you were looking at is a picture of the Thunder's plane that was flying, I believe, from Milwaukee to Chicago, something like that. Delta is claiming that the plane hit a goose, and the goose did that to the plane. I don't believe them. I think there was a UFO. If it was a goose, there would be blood stains.
As someone that travels really frequently, if hitting a bird caused that type of damage, I would not get on an airplane again.
Thank you very much. You know what I don't want? You know what birds are? Very, very light. They have hollow bones. They can fly. So they weigh very few pounds. Like 20 pounds maybe? A 20-pound object should not be able to put a huge dent in a plane that is carrying human beings to
And
safety.
in all seriousness, luckily, no one got injured.
Also, in all seriousness, we do have proof that there are alien flying objects all over.
I'm rolling with you now.
Boom. Now you're in. I like it.
I ain't going with the kangaroo apocalypse, though.
Another thing we learned this week. Tom Brady is indestructible because he has fancy pajamas. Allow me to explain. Tom Brady had this long feature in ESPN the magazine where he described about the TB12 movement and all the different things he does to avoid injury and to keep his body healthy, and he can play until he's 75 years old. And this was the one part that got me, though. He says that when the helmet of an opposing player hits his body, he trains his mind to focus on the pliability of his muscles, so his muscles just are long and they can move, and that's how he doesn't get injured.
You look like LeVar Ball when he came on First Take.
Here's the thing. Tom Brady's just trying to sell a book. That's what he's doing. It's not a coincidence that all of this is coming out and this whole movement is all coming out when he can make money from the movement.
He's rebranding himself, and it's genius how he's doing it, and he's profiting off of it. The interesting thing, however, you don't choose injury.
You don't. And you know what? If I was an opposing defensive player, I'd be like, let's see how well he focuses when I hit him on Sunday. Let's see if that focus
I'm gonna get
is
rid
going
of
to
the ball
work.
quick. And when you're unblocked, I'm going down.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going down.
Next thing we learned. The Greek Freak has a new name. Letter Bro. We learned via a Chinese reporter in China, they just call him Letter Bro because his last name has so many letters. I kind of like it.
Ooh, and I
I kind of like it. Letter Bro is kind of cool. And he seems like a chill guy. He doesn't like fancy cities, but he loves smoothies, and he seems like he'll roll with anything you
When
can
that
throw at him.
MVP conversation happens at the end of the year, he's going to be in the top 3. Watch.
Another thing we learned, Negative Jacoby hates post-game proposal. It's not, you know what? People call me a hater for this one. You know what I mean? And I understand how I sound when I'm disparaging someone who's expressing their love for another human being. I'm thinking about the female in this, and I feel like after you ask for someone's hand in marriage, you shouldn't spend the rest of your night getting obliterated, drunk, slammered with your homeboys. Obliterated, drunk, slammered is what he did with his homeboys after he got engaged.
I disagree with you because I think it's the ultimate exclamation point. He got his ring, she got her ring.
But here's the thing.
They live happily ever after.
Oh, she said yes. Okay, cool. I'll be back maybe tomorrow morning around 9 o'clock, and I'll be hammered, and then I'm going to sleep until 10 o'clock at night, and then we can celebrate the engagement.
So let me get this right. They probably live together?
Probably.
Oh, okay.
Let's move on. Another thing we learned. The Cavs have more meetings than our show does. The Cavs are having meetings on meetings. We're only 6 games into the season, and the Cavs are already having player-only meetings, coaches and sleeping. Dwayne Wade's, putting videos up from his bed about how he wants to be part of the solution. They got issues.
Multiple starting lineups trying to integrate Derrick Rose and Dwayne Wade and Jeff Green and Crowder. Also LeBron James and Kevin Love. That's not the tallest front line in the NBA.
No.
People are going to be able to drive to the basket with confidence, especially with Tristan Thompson not being in the lineup. They're not knocking down the threes the way they did, not only at a high clip, but also with the efficiency that they did last year. And you're going to miss Isaiah Thomas. This guy averaged almost 30 last year. This shows that when he comes back, how valuable he can be and how much they need his production.
Another thing we learned this week is that the English language is without certain words. So we've got a new thing here at Jalen Jacoby where if certain things just don't deserve to be spoken anymore, we are going to retire words here on Jalen Jacoby. What did we retire this week?
We retired the term swagger.
It's overused. It was cool for a while.
It's mainstream. It's corny.
It went corny. It got played out. You know when NPR is saying it's the hip-hop word of the year, and that was 6 years ago? You know it's played out. When the New Yorker says that, oh, this word swag is being used by everybody. It's ridiculous. Jalen, I look forward to us retiring more words as we move forward because swagger had to go. We've got some others prepared, so just listeners and watchers of this show, we will tell you what not to say. And if you catch us saying swagger, tweet at us. We will be back on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe.
We learned D'Angelo Russell will have a better career than Lonzo Ball.
We did.